talk some more about the economy. Joining me, dear friend Kevin Hassett, former chair of the Council of Economic Advisors, author of the great book, The Drift, Stopping America's Slide into Socialism. Kevin, you probably saw our former boss press conference today, or parts of it, or heard about it, or something. Right. He had a nice section. I don't know, maybe we'll play it again. He had a great section how tax cuts win elections, tax hikes lose them. Couldn't agree with that more. Was he growthy enough, Kevin? That was the question I asked. I know he was in that game. Was it growthy enough? Did he make it to the middle class? Did he talk about improving paychecks sufficiently?
Yeah, I believe he did, and he's got this proposal to end the taxation of Social Security. I know some conservative friends of ours have criticized that, but it's an example of growthiness, because right now, if you're a senior and you think your Social Security isn't enough and you go back to work, then they tax the heck out of you and reduce your benefits. So the marginal tax rate could be the highest for anybody in the income distribution, and we got to get people back to work. It's a total supply side thing. So I think that the fact is that if President Trump's not elected, a lot of the Trump tax cuts are going to expire, and probably the Democrats aren't going to renew them. And so I think it's important that he get back in, and he emphasized the benefit of his policies, I thought, adequately. Yeah,
he did. He talked about Social Security relief, and that can be worked out. There's a lot of ways to work that out. You and I have already talked about that, and Faulkner, and so forth and so on. And it seems to me, if you relieve the Social Security, look, you already paid once, right, to get Social Security. They're asking you to pay a second time, in a sense, a third time with the earnings test. But the point is, if you relieve the tax burden from Social Security, overall, right, that makes employment more valuable. So we would get more employment. And if you have more employment, that's got to be a good thing, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, there's another thing that our friend Steve Forbes has taught us, that there are all these stealth tax hikes out there from inflation. And President Trump promises to get ahead of the curve to stop borrowing from the Chinese and spending money. And the fact is that if you think about it, if the government borrows as much as it is right now, then it's making it harder for you to borrow. And so your mortgage is more expensive, your car loan is more expensive, your interest rate on your credit cards are more expensive. And you could think of that as a kind of stealth tax hike. The higher mortgage rate is like charging an extra tax on you when you buy a house. And so I think that all in all, you're going to see a heck of a lot of supply-side benefits from reducing government spending and having a big supply-side push. All
right. Well, not everyone agrees with that. Kamala Harris, I'm going to play a little clip from her Detroit speech. It's all business's fault. That's what it is. Take a listen to this.
It will be my day one priority to fight to bring down prices, to take on the big corporations that engage in illegal price gouging, take on corporate landlords that unfairly raise rents on working families, to take on big pharma and cap the cost of prescription drugs.
Yeah, there you go. It's all business fault. It's not taxing, not spending, not regulating, not modern monetary theory, not left-wing progressive causes. It's business, Kevin. What do you think?
Right. And if you think about it, that what she's basically signaling there, for example, is that she supports President Biden's rent control, even. And so that was an incredibly socialist speech. And she picked a socialist vice president who's very avowedly socialist, right? It's the Democratic Workers' Party that he's a member of in Minnesota. And so the fact is that that's a really chilling thing that she just said, if you think about it, because a war on business is a war on American workers. And we proved that during the Trump administration, where we just deregulated business and cut their marginal tax rates. And then all of a sudden, wages grew by more than they had over the 8 years of President Obama. And so think about it. Real wages have declined for 8 years under Obama, for 4 years under Biden. They're 0 for 12. They were basically batting 100% under President Trump. And so why would people who care about their wages, who care about their welfare, support these people the way they are right now, apparently, in the Democratic Party? It feels like they're in denial to me.
Well, it's the closest, ironically. I mean, it wasn't fabulous. It was just a one or two liner in this Detroit speech. But it's the closest she's come to any policy discussions at all. And I think what we're going to get is basically the Biden-Harris economic policy. We don't hear the term Bidenflation anymore. We don't hear the term Bidenomics anymore. But nonetheless, we're going to get Kamalanomics going to look a lot like Bidenomics, maybe even worse. Is that fair? I mean, this is the first time she said a word about anything to do with policy.
Right. And the thing that bothers me the most about what you just said, I'm sorry, but The fact is that she's the vice president right now, and we have a president that's probably asleep somewhere and not doing anything. And so effectively, she's running the White House. And so why does she have to wait till next January to do something about inflation? Why can't she do it right now? Right? I mean, why can't the Biden administration do it right now? It just doesn't make sense to me. I have one last thing to add, which is just that I think the response to the initial claims today was way, way wrong. Because people don't lay off folks at the beginning of a recession, but they stop hiring. And so it's really clear that hiring has stopped and that the jobs report signal from last week is like the true signal. And so I think what that means, though, is going into the fall, going into the next jobs report for August, that it's going to be another one like the one we just saw. And that's also going to be very politically important because people will see the negative effect as they do in their everyday lives from these Kamala Harris policies.
Well, I still think we're at the front end of recession. By the way, the unemployment claims, that you're supposed to look at the 4-week average smooth. It's 240,000. It's up about 50 or 60,000 from where it was a few months ago. So it's trending higher. That's the way you're supposed to look at that. So I think it's just silly to look at it on a weekly basis or a daily basis. But you're right. More to be revealed on this whole story. But Kevin Hassett, thank you for coming out. We appreciate it very, very much.
Good.